Shop Senior Projects. What's your name, where you're from, and let's talk about your project.
Hi, my name is Austin Lacey. I'm from Glen Arm, Maryland. This is my senior project. This is a workbench. It's called a split top Rouveau workbench. It is made out of ash and cherry. It is timber framed and it's pegged with walnut dowels in a drawbore mortise and tenon. It is very heavy.
All handmade?
All handmade. It is rough cut with power tools, and everything is finished by hand.
I want to start with your vise over on this side here.
Yeah, so there's two vices in here. So this is called the tail vise. It is attached to this thing called the bench dog strip. So each bench dog is made out of an ash spring, so it keeps it in tension at no matter what height it is at. So no matter what length of your board you have, you can always clamp it down. And they're removable, and you can put it in whatever hole you want. But each strip is tapered at a 2-degree angle going this way, and this one is 2 degrees that way. So it's pushing your piece into your workbench, which is really helpful in securing it well. One unique feature about this style vise is that the handle stays in place while the dog strip moves. As opposed to the whole thing moving, and then you've got this big screw hanging out, and it's weaker and you can bang into it. But one thing to prevent all that tension is you put this dovetail on there. Now this is called a half-blind houndstooth dovetail. It is cut by hand and finished by hand. I have cherry and ash, and that helps prevent the pressure from going out.
Beautiful. Let's move around here. What do we have in the middle here?
Yeah, so this is my senior quote: "Work hard, love God, serve others." It's a machine with a buddy over in Machine Shop out of some solid brass, as is all the hardware here.
How about this here?
And so this goes along with the other vise. So this is called a front leg vise. It goes the entire length of the leg. And so one unique feature about this is the entire face of the workbench is on one plane. So I can take a door and clamp it on here. Now this is a glide vise, so it's very free spinning, and it has this crossbar in the middle to prevent it from racking, which is very helpful and key feature. This here is called the sliding dead man. So it slides along this track here, and whatever size panel you have, it can just drop in here, and you can take your peg out, drop it on there, and it provides extra support if you have a larger panel. It runs the entire length of the bench, so no matter what size it is, you can clamp it down. It also is removable. And on the underside of the bench, we have these cabinets. I designed these, and so it's made out of ash and walnut with solid brass handles. Each of these are drawers. They're all complete with hand-cut half-blind dovetails in the front and through dovetails in the back, like that.
What's with the wood you got here?
So these are wormy maple sides and 1/4-inch plywood in the back, and then walnut up front.
Beautiful.
So on this side I've got 2 different drawers. I've got one for all my hand planes. I'm a big hand tool guy. Some miscellaneous planes and waxes. And I have my sharpening station, which is actually a wedged drawer, so that cannot come out any further. And due to its low height, it allows me to sharpen with accuracy. And then you just, with a little bump, it slides back in.
Beautiful.
In the middle, I have a raised panel door.
This is my favorite part.
So within here, I've got my saw till, complete with these saw holsters that I made.
Come on the other side to get that angle, because that thing is impressive. Those roll right down, right to the proper angle, so you can pull them out.
Yep, just like that. And there's a magnet on the door to prevent it from sliding back open. And on this side, I've got some more drawers. All half blinds in the front and through dovetails in the back.
Nicely done. There it is. Well done, Ashton.
And then so it's called a split top because there's actually 2 tops to this bench. And so this middle section, this divider comes out and then flips around, and that goes in there. It actually sticks up 5/8 of an inch. So you can push against it for cutting or planing or whatever, and you can flip it around. It sits in these little notches, and it sits flush with the top of the bench.
Beautiful.
So another thing is I made this, I bought this lamp. One thing when you're cutting all these dovetails, it's very helpful to have light, so I turned a little mushroom on the lathe, and that sits in all my dog holes. So these are dogs as well. These are square dogs, but there's also round dog holes, and they hold my hold fast, which is very similar to my buddy Tati's. And you put your wood under there, and if you're cutting at a certain piece, drop that, whack it, and it doesn't go anywhere. Very, very helpful tool.
What do we have down here?
So this is some hand carving. First time ever carving letters. It's Pro Rege. It's Latin for the king. Reminder that God's given me some pretty cool gifts, and reminder of who I'm working for when I create work. So put that in the front just as a reminder.
Nicely done.
On the back side, I've got some tool trays that I made just for some quick and easy access.
Austin, sounds like you thought of almost everything.
Just about.
Very functional, but it's also a thing of beauty as well.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for sharing. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Well done.
Project. My name is Christopher Moran. I am from Davenport, Florida, and this is my coffee table. So it's an American flag style with a rustic look to it. So this is a red oak tabletop, as well as an ebony stain for the stripes. And
Ebony.
Ebony stain, and then this is the original red oak. However, I took an acetylene torch to it to give it the nice burn marks.
So you burn those in with the torch.
Yes, sir.
All right, so then moving on, we got
This is the 13 star with the 1776 emblem. This was all hand chiseled from when I was a freshman. Learned all how to do chisel projects, so this helped me get that done.
impressive.
As well as down here by the legs, these are all poplar with a rabbit and dado connection, as well as a mortise and tenon to have the table sit underneath of it.
Beautiful. This is solid. So this top here, pretty hard wood. You have, all you did was, to get these colors, you burned your acetylene torch to get these stripes.
Yeah, I burned these to get the stripes, and then for these I free-handed with the stain, the ebony stain, to get the rest of the dark stains.
That is beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for
What's
sharing
your
your project.
Name's Andrew Gilday. I'm currently a senior in the Carpentry Shop, and this is my senior project. So over here, as you can see on this side right here, we got a slat style. This is an entertainment center, and I kind of really like the slats, you know, the offset that it gives. Right here we got a stained oak, and right here we got a piece of maple, so it kind of consistently goes all the way down. If you come around to the front right here, I stayed very similar with the slat and the offset in color. So right here we have another piece of maple with the stained dark walnut oak. As you guys, I also stained this dark walnut, dark walnut, dark walnut.
That's a beautiful contrast.
And over on this side, right here, it's the same kind of slat style.
All right. You got some nice features up here on top. What do we got going on here on the top here?
So we have some beautiful slabs of oak that are right outside our shop. So I wanted to be able to use one and put it in my project. So right here we have some custom dovetails right there, Purple Heart, thanks to Joseph Tati. Over on the other side, kind of a similar thing. Kind of helps the crack from expanding.
I see the
anymore.
crack there, so that's gonna hold it together.
Yeah, exactly. So I did a kind of offset. I did 2 Purple Hearts, and I did 2 pieces of maple for that.
That was a handmade. You gonna cut that?
Handmade dovetail, yep. You gotta chisel it out, get a router so you set the depth correctly. And then basically after that, you can keep it a little big because that's not too big of a problem. And then you can just sand it down nice and flush right after.
Beautiful. This thing is unbelievable. I love it.
Yeah, and here's another piece that I did. So me and my buddy Jimmy McGarrigle over at Brick Shop are gonna be moving down to Washington, DC this summer to work for general contractors. So I made this nice little cutting board. I'm gonna be working for Hensel Phelps, and he's gonna be working for CBG.
impressive. Hey, thanks for sharing.
I'm doing good. I'm Austin Dubs. I'm from Pine Grove, and I built a swinging porch swing. So I started off with the back and the seat supports. I made a template for each, and then basically copied it for the other three. Everything's all fastened by screws, filled with plugs. That's basically the swing part. And I got the stand holding it all together.
You got a lot of weight that's going to be on there. I mean, obviously you got to consider which direction this thing is going to lean. Where's your tension coming from? So what, in terms of that, what do you have to consider when you're making the frame to hold this thing up?
Yeah, so we got the angle supports on the bottom, keeping it from going front and back, and we got the angle supports on the top, keeping it from going side to side.
That's a beautiful structure.
Then I also got this extra feature, a little cup holder.
Custom cup holder that fit on the bench?
Yep, sits in the middle.
Built that thing to sit perfectly right in the same curve you have for the seat.
Yep.
Have a seat. That's beautiful. Hey, thanks for sharing.
My name's Greg Kimmel. I'm from Ridley. I went to Ridley High School, and what we have here is a corner nook. So what it is, it's basically just a storage unit, and it can also be used as a bench. It's framed with just regular 2x4s with pocket holes. The top's made out of pine. Outside's made with MDF. And our trim here is called panel molding.
Nice, adds a nice feature to it, make it a little more decorative.
Just a natural stain.
Yeah. So you got 2 storage units, with your finish on the side here. That thing is pretty solid too, right?
Yeah, got to vacuum that out a little bit, but
well, it looks beautiful. This is a real functional piece that most people in any house would love to have. This thing, it's
right.
Beautiful. Nicely done, well thought out. Thanks, Greg. We appreciate talking to our senior carp students and about their projects. What's your name, where you're from, and let's talk about your project.
Hey, I'm Joe Needham. I'm from Bucks County. I'm a senior in Carp Shop. My senior project is basically a glorified jewelry box. So it's missing the door, but the door has a full body mirror on it. The mirror is getting stained right now. So at the top we have these pegs for necklaces or handkerchiefs, whatever really to hang on there.
All right, so this is a vertical jewelry box.
Yeah. So
and it's going to have a
and
mirror.
It'll have a full body mirror. I made the height perfect so where I can get my entire body from my shoes all the way up to above my head. That's why it's so high. And it pivots too, so you can keep it at plumb, and it also leans forward just to get a different angle. I haven't made it yet, but I'm making stops to keep it at wherever I want it to be.
Nice.
And then I also made these 4 boxes for bracelets, rings, what have you. These are hand cut miter dovetails.
Beautiful.
I have 2 of them at this length, and then I have 2 of them at this length. These are going to be for rings, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line all these with felt, and then I'm going to get round styrofoam and wrap that in the felt. Get 2 of them, that way you can stick the rings in there.
Beautiful. Can you tell me a little, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tell me a little about the base here, because that looks really beautiful down here. It's some workmanship in there itself.
This is all, it's pine actually, but it's all solid pieces. I kind of just came up with the design myself. Made a template for the 2 feet and then cut them together on the router. All these cross pieces are dadoed into each other.
Beautiful.
No nails or anything, just glue.
Nice. Well, this thing is beautiful. I appreciate you sharing with us.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Also, I have here...
Oh, here wait. Oh, we got more.
But wait, there's more. I got a beautiful pizza peel that I whipped up last night. We got walnut, cherry, and purple heart.
Wow.
Put a little round over on it this morning. It's got that tapered edge. Just get the pizza out of the oven.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for sharing. Let's talk about your project.
How are you? My name is Joseph Tati. I'm from Ridley, Pennsylvania, and this is my workbench, the Joseph Tati workbench. If you haven't picked it up already, it's a workbench that you have never seen before. It's a lot of different features that are totally original to myself, built upon my own imagination with mostly no inspiration except for my own. I have fully carved legs with a power carving blade on a grinder. Each one was done without a stencil, without a design or an inspiration. I basically set them up in the center of our shop and ran wild with whatever came to my mind at the time. From there, you can see clearly it's black. It's a deep black. This is all ash. To give you a good basic starting point, this is a piece of unfinished, untreated ash. This is what it's gotten to. What I did on this is a treatment called ebonizing. Through a dye powder. There's a million different ways to do ebonization, but for me, I did a dye powder mixed with warm water, and you simply apply in multiple coats. This took 13 coats to get it to this color. From there, I layered it with a matte polyurethane to give it more of a deeper jet black look. Here you see, this is a mallet that I'm currently in the process of making. This is what it looks like after about 5 coats of ebonization and 0 polyurethane. From there,
a couple features here.
yes, so we have the drawer. Deep drawer, it goes all the way the length of the table. I can store whatever it wants or whatever I want at the time. Right now I'm pretty unorganized because I'm just finishing some things up. On the inside of the drawer you can see hand-cut dovetails on the insides, all 4 corners. Right now there is a little bit more cleaning up and sanding to be done before it's finished, but that's the general idea. That's all poplar and ash. On the drawer face, you'll notice across the bench as well as here, purple color. So this is Brazilian purple heart. It's a tree that grows out of the ground in this color. This is the actual color of the wood when it's milled, purple heart.
There's no finish on that?
No, actually. This was totally taped off so you wouldn't get anything touching it. Over here you see more of the purple on the vise. It's turned on the lathe with this handle, more purple heart. This is a vise that actually belonged to the Carpentry Shop years ago. This is from 1964. It's a Wilton. I had this restored in the paint shop, a little bit of a collaboration between shops, and I used it for myself. Down here, right underneath, you'll see I wanted to make a matching mallet along with this little one. You can see the size difference, but yeah, I did the purple heart on the head. It's wedged in with purple heart and a black ebonized ash handle.
Purple heart's pretty hard wood then, huh?
Yes, it is. It's actually one of the only woods on the planet where if you submerge it in water, it will immediately sink. It will not float. Another thing to mention, right with the legs, I didn't add. These are actually, in a way, part of Williamson history. These were salvaged 6x6 poplar beams and posts from one of the old dorm renovations. So wherever this goes, Williamson's coming with me in one way or another. Moving around to the side, you see another drawer, same style as the other, with these, best way I can explain it is strange or unique humps in the bottom. Again, that was top of my head, no real inspiration. More purple heart on the handle. This is really for any pencils, layout tools, something small really. Onto the back I have a tool tray, again with the carving style, same as the rest of it. It was put it in the middle of the shop and run wild, no inspiration. So on the legs, again, if you see how they're connected, this was very difficult to do. These are all hand-cut mortise and tenons with a chisel and a mallet into the legs. Each one is done by hand. Believe it or not, this bottom is actually perfectly parallel to the top, which was quite a bit of a pain considering each leg is a different size, different style, design, and nothing was plumb level, straight, true or square. So a little bit of trial and error all over the place. So in the future, I think probably within the next week, I'll be building another shelf here on the back. I have the template that I just recently made yesterday. For that shelf, that's just the bracket for it, but I'll be using spalted maple. You can see in the maple some of the black marks over here. This is actually a fungal growth that gives it that black, stringy look throughout the wood, and that'll be incorporated in a few different ways throughout the bench. I like to keep things my own style, and in doing that, I like to find strange woods like the purple hearts, the ashes with ebonization, and spalted maple. So, really, that covers most of it. In the back, you can see more of the purple heart. This is what it looks like when it's cut. It's this black color after the saw, as it burns so easily from the density of the wood.
So it's functionality and beauty all in one.
Exactly. Finally, the last real thing here. It's not finished yet. I have to buy them, but these are hold-fast holes. They're for also called dog holes. So these are for these. These are not that great. These don't work well, but the general idea is you slide it through. Grab a piece of wood, throw it underneath. You get your mallet, and it almost acts as a clamp wherever you want to cross the work surface. This one's not great. Oh, there you go, it worked. But that's the general idea of it. So yeah, a little bit of function, a little bit of art, and a whole lot of myself. That's my senior project.
Beautiful, Joe. Thanks for sharing about your project too.
My name's Joseph McDonald. I'm from Fallcroft, PA, and here I made a entertainment center for my senior project. Made
Beautiful.
all out of maple plywood and cypress wood. All custom made edge banding with the natural knotty look because cypress is a knotty wood, and I like the feature of it. And then over here we have my slats. Mitered down the bottom, got miters all the way around, and nailed it on the inside so you don't see the face nail for finished product. And then here you have my slats with an eighth inch gap. All over here, all my shelves are rabbit dadoed in for perfection, to hold better strength. Got my fireplace right here.
Nice electric fireplace. Just plugs in, huh?
The whole top is completely rabbit and dadoed in, so you can't really see the gaps, and it's better for strength. Same thing over here, rabbit dado. And then we have this side over here. Get the slats too, to match the other side.
That's nice. And what do you got there?
I made a little thing for it. It has to hold envelopes and TV remotes and such.
Nice little storage unit that matches your
definitely
project perfectly.
Color match the stain to make it match.
Beautiful. This is going in your place when you get out of here, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very nice. Thanks for sharing. Very nicely done. Tell me a little about your project.
My name is John Coppola. I'm from Upper Darby, PA. This is my project here. Obviously still in the assembling phases right now, and it's going to be a wardrobe for my bedroom. I got the idea from this magazine, so this is the finished product that I'm going for.
Nice.
Basically, it's a bunch of shaker style panels interlocking to form the structural component of it. And then over here, I have these bins, hand cut dovetails. First time trying that joint out. It was a very challenging but very rewarding joint. These are gonna go down here, one on each side, and slide out.
Nice.
I have a large one up here. It's gonna go up top.
Nice.
And then here, I have my doors, stained glass. They look really nice with the light coming through them.
Nice effect. That's beautiful.
Yep. The whole project's gonna be stained this color. I like it. It kind of looks antique almost. And
as you move on, just you're like you said, you're in the assembly phase now, right?
yep. So, and then there's gonna be a top that goes on it.
All right, looks good.
Hi,
Nice job.
I'm Steve Barr. I'm from Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. I'm currently a senior, about to graduate from Williamson and Carpentry Shop. So here we have my smart bed home theater entertainment system. You can call it whatever it is. This is entirely constructed out of maple plywood, and old growth pine taken from old beams at the Stell dorm renovation.
All right.
All the posts, all the supports, everything is made out of this old reclaimed pine. You can tell by this really tight grain that this has that you don't see in pine nowadays. Now here is an example of new pine. You can see this really loose grain, and that's how you can tell the difference between the two. So within the bed frame, I used a lot from my junior teachings. As you can see, this frame right under, this is basically just a regular floor frame. This is just something we learned our junior year and how to do. And then right on top, you just have a picture frame. It's just mitered on all four corners. And after that, you just have all these slats that will support the bed structure. Right here, this is my footboard. This is where the TV and sound bar will be hung, and I'll project the image to myself down the line. Over here, you have the headboard with your rear speakers. In here, I put made this little drawer. I want to maybe start getting a watch collection, so I can put those stuff in there. And that would be, I think that'll be cool. Now everything, the whole system is run by a computer I built that's currently at home. But you can see all these wires come in. It's just a small computer that I'll put in there, and it'll control the whole system. For the other cabinets and shelving, that's more for storage. This is all maple plywood, and this is all joined together. I did kind of like half lap joints, kind of like that. And that's what these are constructed at. There's no screws in here at all. Now these cabinet doors, we learned how to do these my senior year. This is called a cope and stick joinery. So these are all made from these special router bits, and this is a raised panel. It's gorgeous. This maple with this old growth pine, it's just absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, all this trim and everything, these are all just strips taken from these beams. Now you don't really find lengthy pieces like this anymore, and it's old growth pine. It's somewhat hard to come by. So we were lucky enough to be able to work at the dorm renovation, and when we cut a beam out, we were allowed to claim it. So some of the challenges that you face with working with reclaimed wood is that all the wood's really not perfect, and especially from these beams at Stell, there was a lot of scabs and stuff that were installed over the years, and so you don't get a perfect cut. And when I milled these, you know, there were some notches in here, so I actually had to take strips of it and actually put it right in. And with those, you want to fill these cracks and stuff, but you don't want to use a wood putty that will look kind of gross. So my shop instructor gave me the idea of using black crayon to really match with this dark walnut stain. And you know, and some of it looks really good, and you can see.
This is beautiful. I want to thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How you doing? My name's Charles Harris. I'm a senior carpenter at Williamson. I'm from Prospect Park, PA. And the project I have for you today is a craftsman style bar. So the project is completely made out of 3/4 inch maple plywood, and it's made out of ash and luan. So the case itself is made up of 3/4 inch plywood, and I wrapped it in a shaker style panel. Shaker style panels, and this is made of ash, and the inside here is luan plywood. I'm still in the process of completing the project. What I got here is the countertop, and I'm gonna wrap it in ash. And in the back here, I have my shelves. I have my shelves for storage. I got a wine rack right here, and I got a shelf for up here for wine glasses.
Beautiful. How are you going to finish off the back sides here?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edge band the plywood right here to hide this edge, and I still have to get a matching shellac for the back here, and I'm going to poly over it.
Beautiful. Hey, thanks for sharing. Beautiful project.
I'm Jason Desi. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, and here I made an L-shaped desk. I designed the plans myself, all from scratch, front and back, everything. This top section as well.
Beautiful.
And
let's hear about what your desk there.
We have just regular framing lumber, stained, glued together. That was a whole mess right there. A lot of glue squeezed out. Big old 2-foot section. Nice. And all the way around, we have ash trim on all the panels. And the plywood here, just regular maple plywood with maple edge banding. And as for these doors, it's a shaker style door made out of ash and plywood as well. Got a nice opening there.
Wow.
This opens up as well. And on this side, the smaller section, we have 2 drawers, and they are soft close, same style and everything.
Nice.
And to go along with it, I made a little side table. It's same ash. It sort of mimics the desk, and I'm gonna have my computer there,
nice.
So I don't have any clutter on that.
Nice compliment. What do you got on the back? Anything special on the back of this thing?
Yeah. It's got a big old plywood piece with nothing on it. I decided to get it signed by everyone at shop, so when I move away in like 10 years, I look back and I can see everything.
Impressive.
Little memento.
Nice job. Hey, thanks for sharing with us.
No problem.